All right, let's get into it. Today we're tackling a really interesting paradox. Why is it that some people go on a healthy low-carb diet like keto and then all of a sudden see their bad cholesterol numbers shoot through the roof? It's a result that can honestly be pretty shocking, and we're going to break down exactly why that happens. I mean, it just sounds wrong, doesn't it? You do everything right. You cut out the sugar, the junk, the refined carbs, you're feeling amazing. And then you get a call from your doctor with some not so great news about your LDL cholesterol. So can a diet that seems to fix so many other things actually raise this one key marker? Well, the answer, surprisingly, is yes. And today we're going to get into the science of how that's even possible. Section 1, the keto cholesterol paradox. This is all about unpacking that really surprising link between cutting carbs and watching those LDL numbers climb. Think about your body as having two different engines. On a typical high-carb diet, you're pretty much always in sugar-burning mode. You're running on glucose and your insulin is higher. But when you slash your carbs, you flip this massive switch. You enter fat-burning mode. And this isn't just a little adjustment. It's a fundamental metabolic shift that completely changes how your body uses energy. And as we're about to see, how it handles cholesterol. Section 2, the metabolic switch. To really get why LDL can go up, we have to understand what's happening under the bonnet when your body makes this huge change in its primary fuel source. That switch leads to a state called ketosis. Now, it's not some magical or dangerous thing. It's just what your body does when it doesn't have enough carbs for fuel. It starts breaking down fat and creating these little molecules called ketones, which are a fantastic alternative fuel, especially for your brain. The path to get there is actually a simple chain of events. 1. Your carbohydrate intake drops way down. Because of that, your insulin levels fall off a cliff, and that drop in insulin signals your body to start burning stored fat for fuel. Finally, your liver gets to work, processing all that fat and producing ketones. And just like that, you have a new super efficient fuel source. Section 3, the liver's cholesterol factory. This is where we get to the big aha moment of the whole thing. We've got to talk about something called the acetyl-CoA overflow. Sounds complicated, but it's not. The main character in this story is a molecule called acetyl-CoA. Think of it as the central hub for energy in your cells. It's the raw material for energy production, and your body makes it from carbs, fats, and proteins. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Acetyl-CoA basically comes to a fork in the road. On a high-carb diet, any extra acetyl-CoA often just gets stored away as body fat. But on a low-carb diet, your liver is burning so much fat for energy that it's flooded with acetyl-CoA. This overflow gets rerouted down two busy pathways, making those ketones we talked about, and yes, you guessed it, making more cholesterol. And that's the crucial point. The very act of burning a lot of fat for energy directly gives your liver all the raw materials it needs to make more cholesterol. So it's not necessarily a sign that something's wrong. It's a direct, totally predictable biochemical result of this specific metabolic state. Section 4, reading your cholesterol panel. If the liver is making more cholesterol, what does that actually look like on your blood test results? And let's take a closer look at your lipid panel, because it's definitely not just about one number going up. Typically, here's what we see. Triglycerides almost always plummet. That's a huge win. HDL, good. Cholesterol usually goes up. Excellent. LDL can increase. But here's the most important part. The LDL particle size also tends to get bigger. That distinction is critical because not all LDL cholesterol is created equal. We often talk about pattern A versus pattern B. Pattern B particles are small, dense ones that are much more likely to cause trouble in your arteries, a pattern that's common in people with insulin resistance. But a low-carb diet tends to shift people towards pattern A, big, buoyant, fluffy LDL particles that are considered much less harmful. So if the particles are better, why does the total number still go up? There are two main reasons. One, clearance slows down. With less insulin around, the liver reduces the number of LDL receptors on its surface, meaning it's slower at pulling LDL out of your blood. This effect is especially strong in a group of people scientists called lean mass hyperresponders, often very fit lean individuals whose bodies are highly efficient at burning fat. Their LDL can rise quite dramatically precisely because their metabolic engines are running so cleanly on fat. Section 5, your low-carb action plan. So, knowing all this, how should you handle your cholesterol if you're on, or thinking about, a low-carb diet? If you remember just one thing, let it be this: the quality and type of fat you eat matters. It's not just about eating high fat, it's about eating the right fats. Think of your liver as having doors or receptors for clearing LDL from your blood. A diet very high in certain saturated fats can lock some of those doors, slowing LDL clearance even more. But a diet rich in unsaturated fats, from olive oil, avocados, nuts and fish, helps keep those doors wide open so your body can clear LDL much more efficiently. Practical advice: 1. Keep a close eye on your lipid results and consider asking for an ApoB test, which counts LDL particles directly. And honestly, this quote from the source material says it all. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. How your body responds depends on your unique biology and, critically, on the actual foods you choose to eat every single day. So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Is LDL cholesterol the ultimate villain we've always been told it is? Or is it perhaps just one character in a much bigger, much more complicated metabolic story? The answer, it seems, really depends on the context. Thanks for tuning in.